All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TEW 2023. We have a minor spoiler for a show in the office. So, if you do see it, I'm not going to go out right and say it until it is confirmed. But it, so we have a tale of two things. So, the product we're putting on after a terrible first show, let me just go to show history. So, we had our first ever big event, which was the Big Bang, 136 people. We jumped up in terms of attendance to that, but unfortunately, I made the mistake of. I normally am careful about watching this out completely outside of the game, but realistic in game as well. In that we had an event that crashed because there's too many angles. Normally, I watch it, but I was so focused on booking the show that I didn't check on that at the last second. Ran the show, and there were too many angles, even with some exciting matches like Thor Hagen versus Abdul the Butcher. Um, and Abdullah the Butcher versus Sam Steamboat. Thor Hagen versus Harold Sakata was a bit of a miss, but yeah, so that was the first ever show. But on the plus side, and we made our network upset because the minimum show rating is 40. All of our shows ever since then have gotten better. We had a 47 here, um, and then we had a 45 here, so a little bit of a step down, but still decent show. 51 here, and then I think the same rating here, 51. So the past two shows have been major successes. Unfortunately, I think I made the mistake of signing up for a TV deal too early, but I can't go back now. We're $7,000 in debt. No way of making money because our popularity isn't growing super quickly. Um, I mean, I've seen companies get like $1 million in debt and be fine. In like 5 years, because if we're only losing 18,000, our attendance will get higher as long as we hit it out of the park with these shows. Because let's go right now. Let's go to size here. Uh, we're at 26, of course. We're at 25. Now we're at 26 here, heading into the end of February. So we're growing, but it's a lot slower than I like, even hitting it out of the ballpark with these shows, but it's just the way things are. But so even though we're hitting it out of the park creatively, thank you, in universe, I mean we're still not the best promotion that I want to be one day. Um, we do have issues in that. Now let me just go back here to avoid spoilers. But we do have issues in our money. So we'll see how it goes, but Mad Dog Vashon, I did try signing Vashon, he left and now is unhappy. So, karma's a bitch. But the Canadian Classic so far, if I go to events, it'll probably not be considered our greatest event in our young history, but top 100. I do think our greatest match of all time is on there. So it is considered our greatest event. So it rounds up. But our greatest match of all time in our young company was Luthez versus Abdullah the Butcher, getting a 60 freaking 2. Um, Shout out for that one. And then we have attendances. The Canadian Classic got 161. So the Big Bang 135. So a lot of progress there. We keep hitting it out of the park with our events and then pay per view buy rates. We don't have any TV ratings. Of course, the Canadian Classic getting a point 0.5, but CFW Live not far behind. And then viewership, same thing because they're all airing on the same thing. So yeah, everything's trending in the right direction except our money. I did say maybe the one way I'd cheat is just with my character's backstory of having like $1 million, maybe make it 50 instead of 25,000. If I want to boost it up so we have $10,000, we'll see, just so you can continue the series because I'm having a lot of fun with this promotion. I mean, obviously it's my baby and my creative vision in terms of like the product and stuff. Like I love the idea, even though the Royal Rumble is great. I am more of a fan of a tournament. So if I go to titles, we have the Canadian Classic winner. Um, so, I mean, Luthez won the inaugural tournament, and booking I was very proud of. So I like doing this so much that if we're going to potentially just be forced to go bankrupt, maybe I'll cheat a little bit. I don't want to cheat too much, but I am new to the game. I've only really done a successful WWF campaign. I've never really done a small campaign to large, but that's it for right now. We'll see how merchandise is doing. Uh, Yeah, so since we are losing money, let's go to, Rapid and then, yeah, we're gonna have to do some upgrading, yeah. So we'll try to move up our merchandise. I think merchandise is, you know, an important thing right now because that's how we can make money. So I was just brain busting, but there we go. So for this week's episode, of course, as I'm recording this, the Canadian Classic episode just went live. We're just gonna do 2 episodes of CFW live to build to our next event, which you can all freaking see it. I wish there was a way to avoid it, but right now, because I don't want to do like calling things pay-per-views because that doesn't happen until Starrcade in 1983. I want to kind of save all of that. Um, let's see. Are we the only promotion losing money right now? I want to check this out here. Maybe it's because we're just yeah 90,507. Hollywood's making a crap ton of money. Da, 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 da. Some of them probably started with more money than we did, but yeah, so far we're the only company that's not able to turn a profit, which you love to see it. Yeah, no one else is in the red except for us. We're definitely the weakest promotion in terms of money, it appears. So yeah, all right, but I will go ahead and book the first 2 episodes of the Canadian Classic and follow up of CFW Live, of course, the Canadian Federation of Wrestling, and I will follow that up with with 2 episodes, and then go from there, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, as we build up to our next big event, which is going to be our biggest match in our show's history that you can all freaking see, but I will not say it out loud in case you're not paying attention. So, and you all know where it's going anyway. Okay, welcome back, and let's begin with, of course, our rookie showcase, in which Terry Funk defeats Dusty Rhodes. Of course, we're just trying to boost these guys up. They have a 35. Their ratings were 9. This is going to help with both of their popularity, basically. Yeah, that's just the usual way we do it. Just a tradition here in the Canadian Federation of Wrestling. All right, so let's go to the next segment. And of course, we have a great match between, or a decent match between Rocky Johnson and Harold Sakata. No storylines, just kind of a fun match to uh, get us off to get us started. Next up, we have a 50, solid for our rating here. I was a little bit nervous when we got a 34, but we continued 2 storylines here, um, in which, yeah, Jerry Kozak definitely struggled to keep up with everyone else. Um, it seems like Abdullah the Butcher is a bit of a workhorse here for us right now, as he had the best match on last night's show and continues to have a great match here. So, and about that, had fantastic heats, and Jerry Kozak was submitted with the Kowalski Claw. So yeah, so that storyline continues here, and basically, uh, next segment, Killer Kowalski taunts Nick Kozak, basically, saying, "Oh, I beat you here, I beat you there." You talked about how disappointing it was to lose your to lose in the first round. Well, here you go, you lose again tonight. You're nothing more than a loser. So Killer Kowalski making his feelings towards Nick Kozak very known. They seem to have a problem. Killer Kowalski definitely cannot let go, not being allowed to continue his beatdown on Sam Steamboat. All right, next up in a main event with a 54, so a great performance by Luthez. Luthez defeated von Bronner by submission with the STF. Just the Luthez retirement tour continues here with this match tonight. Um, it is kind of sad that we're only able to give it to him in front of 60 people, but it is what it is. So. But then after he's celebrating the match, continuing his retirement tour, he gets beaten down by who else but Buddy Rogers. Of course, Buddy Rogers beating him down again. But that's not all, folks. Buddy Rogers basically says, and we get some reasoning here and a little bit of layers to Buddy Rogers. Buddy Rogers basically says in their double pinfall in which Luthez got his shoulder up to win the tournament. He doesn't know how he does it, but he respects him, which is why he has to do this because he respects Luthez, but he also hates Luthez, and he doesn't know what to do. He knows he's deep down. He knows he's better than Luthez, and he just has to find a way to prove it. So that's it for this show here. The Buddy Rogers Luthez saga continues. And yeah, we got a 52. So once again, another greatest show of all time here. You love to see it. Um, before we go for the second episode, I will, as our finances continue to dip, we continue to lose money. We are upgrading our merchandise stand. Hopefully, upgrading that can allow us to sell some merch. So, we can make money. And, we're going to lose some more money, but we got to make money long term, basically, is what's happening here. Um, yeah, but you know what? I'll go ahead and pause it now, and we'll do all the summary on money and stuff after this, as the game is taking a minute. Okay, so we have our rookie pre-show match here on this week's episode of CFW Live. Um, Solid match again, trying to boost these guys' popularity, just that sort of thing. Next up, we have Terry Funk versus Abdullah the Butcher, where in which Abdullah the Butcher defeated Terry Funk and basically just dominated Terry Funk. Just absolutely brutalized him. However, this time seeking some revenge, winning the championship, getting attacked after the championship, um, and then getting attacked, beat down, screwed out of the Canadian Classic. Thor Hagen then, of course, comes in and attacks Abdullah the Butcher. And Abdullah the Butcher, just speaking a little bit outside of just through supervising the match, Abdullah the Butcher has kind of been an unsung hero. We have, of course, our first major storyline, but yeah, I'm a little bit high on Abdullah the Butcher right now, the young and up and coming prospect. Uh, so yeah, let's continue. And next segment, we have Nick Kozak versus Pat Patterson in a very good match. Nick Kozak, he needed a win. He got one, but probably a hollow victory here. And basically, Nick Kozak grabs the microphone after winning the match and he says, "You know what? Killer Kowalski has been right. He's had my number. However, I have to face Nick Kozak. I have to face Killer Kowalski. Challenge Killer Kowalski to another match because, you talked a lot of crap. We have, other than the tournament, we haven't had a proper match. Once again, I want to fight you for what you did to my brother. I want to fight you for Canada. I want to fight you for my name, all of that. And the question will be, will Killer Kowalski accept the challenge brought on by Nick Kozak? And next up in a 47, Buddy Rogers defeated George Gadaski with the figure four leg lock. Just good, solid wrestling match here. And then in the next segment, Luthez has come to the ring. Luthez basically says, hey, it was very interesting what you had to say. I could come down here and attack you, but I'm not going to do that. I understand that you respect me, but and for that, I'm not attacking you. I'm not getting revenge. Let's settle this. You claimed to be a true world champion when you won a tournament in Rio de Janeiro and couldn't beat me in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I have to, or not I have to, sorry, getting Nick Kozak blurred here with all the promos I was recording, or not promos, but half-nots. You won the tournament when you went to Rio de Janeiro. You claimed to be a real world champion because it wasn't a 2 out of 3 falls match. I, of course, won the first fall in our 2 out of 3 falls match. Let's see who truly is world championship material. Of course, the Canadian Federation of Wrestling has a title. or has a Canadian Heavyweight Championship, but what about a World Heavyweight Championship? And Buddy Rogers basically says, I am the real world champion. Just because you happen to get your shoulder up and win a first fall in what should have been a 2 out of 3 falls match doesn't make you a world champion. I have made it to the finals of 2 tournaments I've been in. I was the inaugural WWF Heavyweight Champion. I will be the inaugural Canadian Federation of Wrestling Champion when I beat you, if that's how you want to do things. So the match is official. Buddy Rogers in the last event of our first 3 event contract with Chan TV will be Luthez versus Buddy Rogers to crown the inaugural Canadian Federation of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know about you, but that seems like a must watch. Okay, everyone, so it is official. After the last episode of CFW Live in 15 days, so I believe 3 episodes. I will double check on the go home show so I can plan everything accordingly. We are headed to Luthez versus Buddy Rogers 4, a big program. I was always planning to do this match, even with Luthez retiring in 3 months, and it was around this time I was going to do this. This was always the first major program. The Canadian Classic final was going to lead to this, so it's all good. I was thinking of maybe doing something with like more territory approach, and oh, we'll have a the Canadian Heavyweight Championship be a headliner of the and we'll put Luthez and Buddy Rogers to the side. But now I can't do that. That was never something I super wanted to do. But yeah, it is official. Let's just go to events and TV. And there's the poster. Honor, of course, being Luthez versus Tracion, or however you pronounce that word, in representing Buddy Rogers. And that's what we're going to headline with. This match is so big in the history of wrestling. Obviously, they don't get along. It's a lot to bring them together. I was able to do so. But the fact is, even though they all do not get along, they were able to come together. And as Luthez is on his way out, have another match. So, Luthez, of course, and they're going to be, and it will be to crown the first ever CFW World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think, yeah, I won't create it for this video. We'll open the show with the creation of the title for next episode. But there you have it. CFW Live is going to be our big event, and we'll see how it all goes from there. And yeah, that's it for this one, everyone. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys maybe in 2 or 3 days, maybe tomorrow. I can't give an exact plan on when the next episode's going to come up. We're recording this ahead, as of course the Canadian Classic came up today. Tomorrow you'll be seeing this video, which will be today, and then I am heading out of town, so I don't know if I'll be able to get this one done. However, just know I do intend to kind of burst through it. We've already made a lot of progress. We started January 1st. We're in week 3 of February, so yeah, we'll just see it where it goes from there. And yeah, so it's official. We're crowning our first world champion in the Canadian Federation of Wrestling.